What are some trends to pay attention to in 2013, or a few trends that you guys are paying attention to?
Well, when we started, everybody had a pale ale. And that was when you were really educating the consumer. You were bringing over the American premium beer drinkers into the craft market. Now you have the first generation of craft beer drinkers that grew up with craft beer in their parents' refrigerators, so they're already kind of hooked into it. And it seems like IPA has kind of been the big thing, and you're getting into the doubles and the imperials. But I think what you're going to start seeing is Americans are going to be looking for just good drinking beer, good session beer, good style beers, like a Kolsch or pale ale that, is not overly over the top. Something where you can sit down with your friends and have a couple and still be able to taste something.
I think IPA and hops is not going anywhere. I think, our portfolio continues to be mostly about exploring beers that have culinary ingredients, but also an emphasis on creative interpretations of IPAs, whether it's using fruits or wood or whatever. So I'd say those are some of the trends that I see.
Well, I think the trend, and it's coming on, I see it when I travel around the world, particularly in England, is very flavorful beers at lower alcohol levels. And 4% beers that have good hop character, incredible drinkability, but great interest. I think it's a good trend that we're going to see coming on quite a bit more in the States.
You just can't go wrong with a session beer. So we want to sort of transition into like a seasonal saison. So we'll do a saison for the summer, the winter, the spring, the fall, which will, sort of allow us to play with local ingredients and change up the style. So, bigger, stronger during the winter, lighter, crisper during the spring and the fall and the winter, summer.
We're going to see a lot more brewers investigating and innovating with new styles and new ingredients, new recipes, because there's a lot of craft beer out there now. And to differentiate one brewer from the next, it's going to take something special and something different.
I think we're going to see, at least back at home, we're starting to see a lot of coffee beers come around, which is kind of cool. I think with hops being as scarce as they are right now, people are going to really look to explore what can we do outside of hops and that kind of environment. So we just released a coffee imperial brown ale called Board Meeting, and that's gone full-time year-round beer in our port brewing production, and we think that beers like that are going to have a lot of value in the market.
It depends on the trend on the sales side or the beer side or the marketing side. I think the biggest trend is continued connectivity. How are we going to all brand ourselves to be unique? Trend in beer itself, I see a lot of lagers, a lot of craft lagers. We've been seeing for probably 3 years now, really getting incredibly popular.
And if anything, actually, contract brewing has been amazingly productive and creative and interesting in creating all these new flavors and styles, brands that are able to do stuff that was way beyond anything imagined in the 90s with craft brewing, with contract brewing, because now they can really create a point of differentiation, put out incredible products. And all right, if you don't own the brewery, you don't own the brewery, but it's not nearly the stigma that it was not that long ago.
I think clearly on-premise is getting a lot more competitive than it was. They're adding more handles than ever before. We're becoming a larger and larger piece of the on-premise business. The draft is for craft, and some of the numbers they presented in the opening reception here, I think were pretty eye-opening. So I think definitely I would pay real close attention to that segment as a whole. And then for the individual brewers, as things diversify, I think really monitoring your own velocity per account and your rate of sale is going to be a really critical metric for people going forward.